Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for render price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. We're gonna start with the daily for the overview between bullish and bearish scenarios where we have an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing wave 1 or a wave A, followed by an ABC for a wave 2 or a wave B, and then of course continuation toward the upside with a wave 3 here where you are looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 leading diagonal. Inside this leading diagonal, of course, we have finished here a wave for ABC inside the blue box as expected. We have hit the one-to-one fib level, $3 of course for an A, B, and a C. Obviously that we have three waves here for a wave A, three waves for the wave B, and a wave C potentially finished and potentially not in a bearish scenario. I would say short-term bearish scenario that it might still be unfolding. We're gonna see it next. So basically, inside this blue box, this is a box of opportunity where we would like to see, of course, higher prices. Now, we got kind of like an impulsive wave here. If this is your wave 1, 2, and then you're looking for 3, 4, 5, toward the upside as an impulse to continue, of course, as this leading diagonal, that we would be, of course, an opportunity right now to move continuously toward the upside without taking the low, knowing that the wave 2 here took the 886, which is reducing so much the probability, of course, for an impulse. But we're gonna see, of course, internally what it might happen next. So another scenario here is a finished ABC zigzag toward the upside, where you finished a wave A, you're looking for a wave B. This wave B is the same ABC that we got for the leading diagonal in the previous option. But in this scenario here, your wave B can still, of course, be looking for a little bit low and then moving toward the upside again for a wave C impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the upside. Another scenario finally is a double 1-2, where you have an impulse correction for 1-2, another impulse and a correction for another wave 2. You already hit the perfect fib level or the minimum requirement for a wave 2 here, not the perfect, because the perfect can be, of course, even lower here. Having a second 1-2 here and then moving very impulsively for a wave 3 towards the upside. Now, the bearish scenario here is, of course, to have a little bit lower prices as a short-term bearish scenario to finish, of course, this 1, 2, 3, and having here as an expanding flat wave 4, and then finishing a wave 5 toward the downside, meaning this wave C is still unfolding probably, of course, as a wave 5, where you have here this impulse that we saw, of course, and we are considering this as probable wave 1 for a bull run here. It might be an ABC expanding flat. The wave C is that impulse, and of course moving again impulsively to finish a wave 5 here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished wave C, and therefore moving toward the upside. We're gonna see this, of course, internally on the micro levels as well. Another possible bearish scenario is a bigger ABC, meaning what if you move here as an A, B, a C, three waves toward the upside, hitting the 886, unfolding wave C as a corrective zigzag, and then moving toward the downside again for a major A, B, and a C, of course, to finish even potentially a big wave 1 and ABC for a wave 2, and then moving toward the upside later on. Let's move inside the 2 hours chart. Of course, on the daily, the higher possibilities are for the bullish, despite that you might even take the low probably and then moving toward the upside again. So we're gonna see, of course, on the micro levels here before moving as well to the 2 hours chart to see what is going on the micro level. What is the answer here for our question? Is it bullish or bearish? So we have a 1, a 2 here, and a potentially wave 3 has already unfolded. So as you can see, you have a impulse wave 1, A, B, C, expanding flat for a wave 2 or a wave B. Then we are having here several, of course, impulses to finish finally an impulse as a wave 3, or potentially finishing wave C here, meaning you are in a 1, 2, 3. Currently, you're looking for a wave 4. As you can see, well, the invalidation was given, of course, here on the top of an A, B, and a C, but I believe that, yes, you can still consider that this is not invalidated yet, and that we have to take it exactly from the top of the wave 1. And yeah, as you can see, the price here is still ranging above this invalidation. So that means possibility is still there that render still can be, of course, impulsive toward the upside, where we are looking 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But invalidation, of course, would be 100% this time, of course, like a 2.87. After here, looking at the micro, of course, that you have to take the invalidation from there. This ABC belongs to the wave too. Another scenario, if in case we are corrective here, A, B, C, you have a wave A, you have definitely a correction here and a corrective wave, which it might be your wave B, meaning in both case scenario, you might still look for a wave C toward the upside, A, B, and a C, at least, of course, to finish this correction as well with a wave C, unless it can transform, of course, to a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave 5, of course, it can finish a wave 1 here, and then moving for a wave 2 again, and then continuation toward the upside. So let's see in a little bit overview on the 2 hours chart here. What are the possibilities for the bullish? In the bullish scenario, you are looking at an impulse toward the upside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You finish an ABC here as obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, an impulse meaning ABC zigzag for a W. You have an X, and we have only 3 waves zigzag toward the downside to finish a Y. So if you are bullish, it means like you should not invalidate the micro level. If you remember that we had, of course, as invalidation, which is of course the 2.87, right, is your invalidation of this scenario. So be careful. I'm gonna put it anyway here again. So this is invalidation of the bullish at the 2.89, of course, dollar. And if we still ranging above it, I would say, okay, the impulse is safe still and can unfold, of course, a wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. This is a bullish scenario where we might have, of course, continuation toward the upside after having here wave 1, meaning 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. However, don't forget that also reaching the 886, as you can see, render has took the 886 without taking the low yet. And that means, of course, it can be still an A, B, and a C here before moving, of course, for lower later on. And this is, of course, kind of like a bearish scenario a little bit for later on that it might unfold. Now, a bigger bearish scenario here on the 2 hours chart might be, of course, that you have here on the on a bigger view a little bit, A, B, and a C. As you mentioned on the daily, this wave C might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 4 is an ABC, of course, expanding flat because you took the low here and you move impulsively. So this might be an ABC here, expanding flat and then moving right now impulsively for a wave 5 to finish it in the orange scenario. Meaning you have here a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave 5 is unfolding, of course, as a 1, 2, and then 3, 4 without interfering with the zone 1. Currently, you have to finish this wave 5 as kind of an ending diagonal. Why? Because you have simply here a zigzag. And you got the wave 4 invalidation, of course, invalidation of this impulse, meaning this is a zigzag wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, somehow like that, to take the low, finishing this impulse as a wave C, and therefore looking for a bull run again inside this blue box of opportunity that we were looking at, or of course for it since a long time ago. Now, if we are back to it, definitely we're moving up again from there impulsively for a new bull run. That was it for Render. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.